Hello everyone, I'm RB. Welcome to my video discussing, recapping and reviewing Love Island. Well, the episode builds to a tense outburst from Ciaran to Harriett in a very telling game, but we'll get back to that in more detail as now to the start of the episode with the dates with the bombshells. Jessy and Trey are on dates with Joey and Jess, and Joey tells Jessy that she's gorgeous. She lives in London and she's in accounts management. Joey looks smitten. He said his situation is with Grace and that he's not in a couple, but they're into each other. He said it's fair to say they're both willing to explore, also that he doesn't know if it's closed off. She was happy to know he's not even in a couple, and he smiles. He said she's nice and beautiful, and he's glad that she picked him, as is she, and they each are each other's types. He said he feels like him and her could be trouble, and that he likes her, and she's happy with that. He says you're going to be trouble, and she says that's good, and they cheers to this basically. Meanwhile, Trey is from Leeds, and Jess said she wants Trey basically. He said his type is brunette, and she says tick. Oh, calm down, Jess. Trey's an insurance broker. He's 24, and they're glad he picked her. Again, she said she's a prize. I mean, not this again. A prize that begs for someone to claim her and still falls flat. Back to the main villa and the girls chat. They think Sean's was the best one. Matilda says Jess raised his heart rate the most. Grace is also confused as it's the same with her couple as Joey wasn't raised by her. But let's not forget that hers was raised by Io, not Joey either. Matilda said her heart rate can be raised by anything and she's over it. She's refreshingly unproblematic. Nicole, take note. Then Grace said that Joey reacted perfectly to the Connor situation, that he can enjoy the new bombshell's company but then come back to her, and that she trusts Joey. Ciaran says every time there's a game or challenge, it's always the same reaction, that it's the eggy boff, eggy bread thing all over again, and he feels it's going in circles, that he's treading on eggshells. Well, exactly. He said he's reassured her enough, and Ronnie agrees. Ciaran said if he didn't like Nicole, then he wouldn't be closed off with her, that he's done nothing wrong. Nicole said Grace is absolutely beautiful, and Uma said Nicole is stunning, that Ciaran was probably just panicked, and that he fancies Nicole more than anyone, or he would be onto Grace, but he's not. So does everyone else see sense except Nicole? Anyway, Sean and Matilda talk. He said she smashed that. She jokingly says that she didn't make his heart rate race, and he said he was surprised and that the heart rate only increases over time, and as Jess's was last, then it must have malfunctioned. Nice try. She said hers was raised the highest for him, and he said he was nervous, and it's revealed that she likes dressing up, and he said he's previously dressed up as a Power Ranger. Sean is unintentionally funny. You gotta love him. Uma and Will chat. He's happy he got her heart rate going. She said they were the only ones with a mutual heart rate match, and he said he thinks they're flying. So is this the impending trouble start for them? Harriet asked what Jess whispered to him. He said, "You wish." Ronnie said he felt his heart rate was raised by Harriet, especially as she did the splits. They don't overthink this, and she accepts his explanation of his heart rate being raised by Jess. He feels Joey's eyes are only for Grace and not the new date, and they kiss. Mimi said Io's heart rate was raised the highest for her, but Grace's was raised the highest for him. She feels he can't complain. But how, as hers was raised by Connor? But from my perspective, he'd be right to let it go as he's caused enough havoc with Mimi previously. Here we go again with Nicole and Ciaran. She's annoyed that his heart rate was higher for Grace and asked, "Do you fancy Grace?" He said it was a game. He said, how do we go from here? And she said, am I not allowed to be annoyed? And he says that he didn't say that, but he wants to sort this out. She's very insecure. Also, it's like the producers wanted us to see all the more healthy relationships, then save this last for a comparison. Nicole said it's a confidence knock for her. He said he likes her so much and there's no one else in there for him, and they kiss. Is this crisis averted, or will she drag this on unnecessarily? Moving on. Grace said the anticipation is killing her as she's waiting for Joey. Then, as the bombshells and Joey and Jess come back, Nicole comments that Jessy looks like Grace. The girls and boys go to debrief. The boys chat. Trey said Jess is his type. He also likes some of the others also. Joey said Jessy is very, very nice, and they laugh. He said there's chemistry there for sure. It's different, and his head is scrambled. Separately, Joey tells Ronnie it was chemistry on the date. Also, that he found out a lot about her very quickly. He's got to explore, and he said he's learned more from that date than what he knows of Grace. He said the physical chemistry is there with Grace, but this differs to the other chemistry, and he said he feels something is missing with Grace. And Ronnie said, be honest with Grace, but also don't rush into anything. Elsewhere, the girls chat, and Jessy likes tall, dark, and handsome, but also goes for personality. She wants to keep her cards close to her chest, but she said that the date went really well. Jessy said she's not sure Joey necessarily knows where he stands for being closed off, and Grace said she feels like he definitely does. Separately, Grace says Joey knows where he stands. Matilda tells Joey that Grace feels it's closed off, and Joey said he feels deeper with Jessy than Grace, basically. The boys think Joey will be in trouble, and Grace tells the girls that one red flag and she's out. Trey feels like Jessy turned Joey's head. Joey's switch is very sudden, and since when did he feel that something's missing with Grace? Have we missed something? Also, what will he do in Casa Amor if he's like this now? This will be very interesting, and it starts on Sunday. What's your opinions? Comment, like, and subscribe. It's nighttime. Sean and Matilda kiss. Ciaran and Nicole kiss. Will and Uma kiss. And Harriett and Ronnie kiss. Then it's morning time with the squinty eyes and the sunglasses. Jessy feels she needs to speak to Grace. Trey brings Jess some coffee, and Joey tells the boys it was instant with Jessy. Separately, Jessy finds Joey good looking. She feels awkward, and she also says that if him and Grace didn't work out the first time, then how now, basically. Also, that if he was closed off, he wouldn't talk to her. And Trey said that Jess was excited for the date that they had. Elsewhere, Jess likes Trey's cheekiness, but that he's also mature. And Grace tells Harriett that she's fuming. She said Joey had been reassuring her, but basically now he's gone cold. Harriett said his behavior was off, and Grace finds it hurtful. And Harriett wonders, why does Joey kick off about Omar when he's interested in the bombshell now? Meanwhile, Joey said to Will it's not fully closed off. He said he owes it to himself to explore other connections. Jess and Trey talk. She said she pulled out all the stops wearing the bikini she's got on and asked if he likes it. It's coming across a bit desperate. Then she's complimenting his eyes and she's offering him a massage. Like, slow down. Then Joey and Grace chat. Popcorn's ready. He said his feelings have not changed to her at all. He said he owes it to them, that he's sorry. She says she still doesn't know that anything's happened. He said she can trust him and that he doesn't know if Jessy is friendship or more, that he still wants to get to know Grace more also. Grace said it's clear where they stand. He said he'd be silly to say he's closed off, and he can't say they're fully closed off, and she said she won't be in a triangle. She talks of Omar, and he says don't talk about that, as that was behind his back, but he's transparent. He said he wants to explore with the bombshell, and she said she's shocked and disappointed in him. He said nothing's changed, and she said everything's changed now. The girls are listening in, and they feel bad for Grace. Joey talks to the boys. He said he's ready to settle down with someone into him and not a persona. Then Jessy pulls him for a chat, and he's fully ready. Jessy feels their date ruffled a few feathers. He said the truth is he's not fully closed off, and they flirt. The girls are watching. Grace said she's not going to wait on the sideline. She said the same things happened on the outside, and she feels that they've got something good. The girls advise her to let her guard down. Nicole said his actions will speak louder than his words. She cries. Samantha will definitely be watching this with some type of glee, as she's made it known publicly that she doesn't rate Joey or Grace. Joey feels like Jessy's rattled everyone. Harriett admits that maybe she's a bit excited about Trey. Grace and Uma chat, and she says Joey was cold to her at the end of their relationship on the outside. She feels Joey's wasting his time with the bombshell. Ciaran asks if there's a challenge where either of them kiss, then to know it's just a game. She wants his reassurance, and she's basically switched the point that he was trying to make, which doesn't go unnoticed by him. Then there's a game of Never Have I Ever, the standard drink to answer the questions. They discuss if they've checked their partner's phones, and most of the girls have. Then basically asking if anyone's cheated, and Sean said he kissed another girl on a night out, but he said the same thing on his first day in the villa. Some of them have been with older women, and Nicole's annoyed again. Ciaran said to the group, grow up and have respect. I mean, he's right. Then they're asking about two-faced and the atmosphere is tense. Ronnie said he had the best looking triangle, but he's out of it. Ciaran's in the mix and he's outing Harriett, but she doesn't get it that Harriett said, "Be careful of Ciaran," and then said the opposite. And Jess was laughing, but she does this type of thing all the time, like yesterday and nearly every day with Harriett and about Ronnie. Ciaran said, "You're the only one who's been second choice about 3 times." And Ronnie said she's first choice now. Harriet is crying and Jess gets involved. She said it's normal, it's tit for tat, ever the negative Nancy. And Matilda sticks up for Harriet. But this was also immature from Ciaran. Even if he felt that was warranted, he could have been the bigger person and let it be. That was an interesting episode. It was entertaining, what with Joey's sudden switch. I mean, what was that even about? And what about Ciaran's outburst in the game? About a 7 out of 10 is a rating for this episode. But what's your opinion? What did you think of the episode? Comment below. Thank you for watching and catch you for the next episode.